Wow. Good afternoon. It is so great to be with you today on your 90th anniversary. My name is Tim. I'm with the Census Bureau. I'm a career executive, and I'm here to tell you about the 2020 census. Now, I know you've heard about it from every presidential candidate, including one today. You've heard about it from the Supreme Court 2 weeks ago. You may hear something more about it this afternoon from another person, our president. What I'm here to do today is not talk about that. What I want to talk to you about is how can we get everybody counted in 2020. The census is in the United States Constitution. It requires that every 10 years we count all persons living in the United States. All persons living in the United States. The outcome of the census results in how you and I and everybody else in this country is represented. It determines how resources are allocated throughout the entire United States. And something that we often don't talk about, but I want to highlight today, census is about respect. It's about respect for who we are as a people in all of our various shades, all of our backgrounds, all of the places we have come from and the places that we live today. That's what the census is about. And I want to tell you, our commitment from the United States Census Bureau is, as it has always been, to count everybody in this United States. And as we often say, once, only once, and in the right place. So what can you and I do in this environment, this very, I will say, a challenging environment, to make sure that everybody is counted? The first thing is we need to get the word out and break apart misinformation about the census. We need to let people know it is really important to their futures, our futures for the next decade. Second, we need to really get the word out that census, the responses people give, are confidential. They cannot be shared with any other entity in the United States or in the world. That means immigration. That means FBI. That means IRS. That means local code enforcement. The individual responses that people provide on their forms cannot be shared with any other entity. It is confidential and protected. And so people can be assured that their responses are protected and they cannot be penalized in any way, shape, or form by answering that questionnaire. The third thing that I want to encourage you, and I'm coming to you as friends. We've partnered for many, many years, many decades. This is my fourth census, starting in 1990. I was just a wee little kid. I'm lying. I have gray hair. I had a little bit of gray hair back then. A lot more now. What we need to do, and I'm appealing to you to continue doing what so many of you have already been doing, and if you haven't, I urge you to, is to get the word out to the people that you have a direct connection to and influence over about the census. Let them know that in mid-March of 2020, their household will be contacted either via the mail or through a person delivering a census form in mid-March of 2020. When that form arrives, it's so simple. We ask them to simply respond. They can respond online. They can respond over the phone. They can fill out the paper questionnaire and respond that way. They can do it in English, they can do it in Spanish, they can do it in 11 other languages besides English and Spanish. It's very, very simple. It'll take just a couple of minutes. Urge them, as you talk to people about the census, urge them to include every person, every breathing person who resides in their household on that form, whether they are related or not, whether they are a friend, a couch surfer, an infant, somebody else's infant. Have them include every person living in that household. And second, let them know that if we don't hear from their household about 4 weeks later, at the end of April, my team will hire over 500,000 people throughout the country, as we call them census takers, and they will start knocking on doors. And I have to tell you, the 500,000 people my team will hire are really cool people. They're amazing, they're beautiful, they speak many languages, they are local, they live in their neighborhoods. We'll train them how to follow up with non-responding households. But I want to tell you, we also train them to be relentless. We train them to keep going and going and going until they make contact with that household and they get a completed interview. So my message to you, which I ask you to share with people that you are connected with, is the way to avoid one of my 500,000 employees knocking on their door. Simply take the few minutes to self-respond when they get the opportunity. The likelihood after that of us following up is about 0. It's a great opportunity. I close with kind of how I started. The census is about representation, it is about resources, and it's about respect. Let's make sure everybody is counted in 2020. Thank you very, very much.